What is the esports program? I would define esports as a collection of video game players that are competing against other teams typically, and in our case it's against other colleges. We have varsity teams in Rocket League, Smash Ultimate, League of Legends, Overwatch, Valorant, and Counter-Strike. We compete for championships, we compete for wins and losses, and there's a lot of team building, there's communication skills. A lot of times the team that wins is the one that has learned to be the best team. I was involved with the club actually starting almost 2 years ago. The little bit of progress that we had, COVID brought down, and then we were restarting with just the idea of let's do something. Originally it was an excuse for us to do Smash over here because Wazoo they've got a decent Smash scene and I wanted to help build it up over here. But as it evolved, it turned into more of a passion project of let's just see how big we can make this. So we started with Smash, and then not long after Valorant came around, as well as Rocket League, and then CSGO was also playing last year. So all four of those teams had competitive teams last year that were playing in a league. We have 7 teams competing this semester, and I wouldn't be surprised if we have 14 next semester.
The esports lab is particularly exciting because it's brand new. You know, it's not every day that you get to help start a program from the ground up, right?
We acquired a space this spring semester, and now we're actually building it out into a fully functional lab. And with all of that and the changes that have been going on, the esports program became an official program of the Department of Student Involvement. We are very student-focused, student-driven. A lot of the programs that come out of our office is touched by, at least 2 students, if not more. So this summer we've been spending a lot of time developing what our needs are for the lab and how we can help students be successful in the program. We just received a bunch of new computers, which is great, so they have a competitive edge for our participating gamers. We also are working on building out the lab as well, so new carpet, new paint, vandalizing the space, so to speak, so that it really is a team space and shows Vandal pride. We still have a ways to go in getting all the equipment that we would love to have for the space, including building out the production area, supplying our shoutcasters with everything that they need to be able to stream successfully as well. But those are some of the things that are currently in the works and what we have coming down the pipeline. We have had more folks utilizing the lab than I think we originally anticipated, even while things have still been in the works. So that's been something that we've been farther along in than I think we originally anticipated.
In the beginning, there weren't a lot of people coming to the lab, but once people started realizing where we were and started realizing that their friends were part of the teams, it was just so exciting. Everybody was genuinely supportive.
I think one of the really great things about it is having the student input. Each student leaves their own mark, right? And so seeing everybody in the lab working together to problem solve and create and develop this program into something that's going to serve future students, I think is really special. We only expect for attendance and participation to grow the more that we put the lab into its final form of togetherness. We really would love to have an open house to invite people in and celebrate the space and what this means for students who are passionate about esports. We're going to be working to develop different events throughout the upcoming semesters.
I'm excited to eventually have multiple teams out for a LAN event where we get a chance to have just a round robin of let's have 4 or 6 teams playing all of each other in one day and get an opportunity to get different experiences and different exposure to other teams. This week we had our first in-person match. Wazoo came over here for a Rocket League match, and it was just so much fun. There was about 30 of us hanging out in the lab cheering on our teams. For the most part it was Vandal cheering that was going on, and unfortunately we pulled off the victory in Game 5, 2-1. Super tight match. It was intense. It was just tons of fun. The camaraderie and the friendships that build from that are just fantastic. Our League of Legends team, if you're not familiar with League of Legends, it's 5 players versus 5 players, and everybody has their own character type, and the goal of it is to destroy the other team's nexus. This was the first semester that we had a League of Legends team competing on a varsity level. We had a coach who's a local accounting student here at UI. She did a great job of leading the team. They finished 2nd place in their division. They ended up taking 3rd place in the playoffs in their conference, and so it was a very successful first season for our League of Legends team. Immediately after their playoff loss, they knew there were things they could work on. They're going to be changing up a bunch of things going into next semester, and they have a couple of players incoming that are transfer students who should also help the team out. So we're looking forward to see how they do in their 2nd season next semester. I have, I think, hopefully a brain that will help bring this program into a light where we are in conversations with schools like Boise State University and UCI Irvine, where when people are looking to programs that are among the best in the world and how can we copy them, I hope that we're one of those programs that are being talked about in those conversations. So our Valorant team this year,
we've been playing together for it'd be about 4 months or so. You know, we always have fun. We never have a bad time. Even when we lose, sure, we'll get upset when it happens, but we'll always get ourselves back to the highs we were at before. I love this team, and there's a reason why I chose these people to be on the team. I would like to say that Valorant is a 5 versus 5, like tactical type shooter.
Valorant is just a really vibrant game that shows a lot of technical skill and teamwork that I really enjoy watching.
There's one team that wants to plant the bomb, there's one team that wants to defuse the bomb, and then that's kind of the basis of it. But in this, you know, there's abilities and there's a lot of strategies that make it a lot more difficult. And this season we went 6-1, so obviously it was definitely successful. And we did make the playoffs, and we're on bye week right now, actually. So it's really nice because we can just chill. And then once we get back into form, it'll be really nice. Maybe we even can win the entire thing, you know, this year. So we'll see what happens. But it's been really fun the entire time all the way through, though.
scholarships is definitely on the horizon. There's conversations about that already. So hopefully by next year we have some official stuff going on. We're hopefully going to be making connections with different companies. The company that created the cycling program that we're doing, they actually are part of a larger company that makes a lot of corporate software. So we're working on building connections with them so that our students that are in computer science or VTD can possibly talk to them about job opportunities or find internships.
When I was part of the cycling team, it was kind of a last-minute decision. It was actually a really great experience for me. It was a way that I could actually feel part of one of the teams rather than just the production. The CEO himself was actually at our competition in Boise. He was there to see how the game worked, and he was also there as a shoutcaster with one of the Boise shoutcasters, so that was really interesting. The company itself sent us pedals that we had to attach to the bikes. They're stationary bikes that are hooked up to a monitor via Bluetooth. They'd simulate this terrain with various maps, having inclines, declines, curves, and they even had like power-ups. So it was really cool. And you'd go through 4 races. It was a lot of work, but I felt really proud.
When people hear the term esports, they immediately think that it's just a bunch of people in someone's living room playing games, and it's so much more than that.
The esports lab naturally brings people together that maybe wouldn't necessarily have to or want to leave their room, but they get to come here, be in person, build, I think, relationships and community with each other, and it's, I think, pretty awesome.
Bringing people into the esports lab, allowing them to participate in the different games and titles that our student players are engaging in, I think is really important.
We have a lot of the games that are just fun to play, where you can bring your friends in and just have a good time. Mario Kart, we have Street Fighter 6, Fall Guys. Ultimately, the goal is just to get as many students involved and find a home for them, so that when they're, mostly students, they are not living with their parents, away from what they're used to, and so hopefully this is a spot where they can feel like they have a second home, where they can go and hang out with friends and feel like they belong.